Next up, here in Rome, Louise Ritter, Americans' top choice and chance for a medal in the high jump. Louise Ritter goes in her event as we continue our activities. Day 2 of the World Track and Field Championships from the Eternal City, Rome. Welcome back to Rome. In 1960, the Olympic high jump for women was won by the great Jolanda Balic of Romania at 6 feet 3/4 of an inch, the first time a woman had ever jumped over 6 feet in the Olympics. They had to jump over 6'2" just to be qualifiers for the finals here in Rome for these World Championships. And the world record holder is a 22-year-old Bulgarian, Stefka Kostadinova. And she has jumped 6'9"3/4, and definitely the one to beat. We'll meet her now.
Strolling through the streets with her coach, high jumper Stefka Kostadinova reflects on her training. The world indoor champion has had a long season of competition. This year's World Championships falls at the end of an already successful year. I asked Stefka how she thinks this lengthy competitive season has affected her preparations for Rome.
My coach has told me that to compete often is the only way to deal with the lateness of the World Championships. I feel better prepared because of the many competitions I've had this year, but of course this also gives my competitors a little more time.
The world record holder has raised the level of performance in the women's high jump and challenged the other competitors to keep up with the example that she has set in the event.
Dwight, you know as well as I do that being #1 means that there's always someone who wants to take your place. The level of competition is rising, and many other girls are jumping 2 meters or more. You'll see 2 meters 12 soon in the women's high jump.
While the men close in on an 8-foot jump, the women look at 7 feet as the barrier to break. Is Stefka capable of becoming the first woman to clear 7 feet?
My coach and I think about this all the time, and he thinks that I may be the one to do it. I can't say I believe it 100%, but I hope that perhaps with the proper training and a little bit of luck, I may be among those who can do it.
Louise Ritter in her first attempt at 6 feet 4 inches.
Dwight, this 29-year-old American has had an outstanding season during July and August in Europe. She lays out pretty cleanly at 6 feet 4. Actually, not a very severe height for her to attempt. She's been up to 6'7" this season.
That's why I was surprised when she had a miss early at 6'2 3/4, but it looks like she made the adjustment and she's okay.
Has the wind been a factor today?
No doubt about it. It's been swirling, it's in the face, it's at the tail, and then you have to really adjust where your takeoff point's going to be, how much speed you can use to the bar, and I think that's bothering a lot of the girls.
Well, here's a woman who might be troubled here. 6 feet 4 is just about as high as she has cleared this year. She's been up to 6'5". This is Colleen Summer from the United States attempting 6 feet 4. This is her third and final attempt. Very easy clearance. She made a little stutter step a few feet before the bar, and that's because of the wind. They can feel themselves coming in too fast, maybe a little bit too slow, and they make the adjustment. Dwight, as we look at the picture, the wind's been coming from the right part of the stadium to the left. Would that have helped her in that jump since she jumps off her right foot?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. But she's over that. She looks as though she's adjusted to it, and now it's just a matter of getting very, very comfortable. We'll be right back after this.
But we have some bad news apparently down in the high jump competition for the United States. We understand that some troubles there for our leading medal hope, Louise Ritter, as she tries to battle, repeat her bronze of Helsinki 4 years ago. Let's go to Dwight and Larry for the high jump.
Dick, right as you are, Louise Ritter up for her third attempt at 6 feet 5 inches. When we last were speaking to you, she had a very easy make at 6 feet 4 inches.
Dwight, she didn't look good on her earlier attempts either at this height. 6 feet 5, Louise, I'm sure, major disappointment and a big surprise for track and field fans.
Right here, you can see that she is bearing down so hard. This is so important to her. This is an intermediate height for Louise Ritter, the way she's been jumping this season. She hits it on the way up, extremely disappointed. She ends up in 8th place. Not a fate that we would have expected from Louise Ritter.
Colleen Summer, America's last hope. This is her third and last attempt at 6 feet 5.
Larry, as you mentioned earlier, she's pretty much in over her head at 6 feet 5 this year. However, she had a better last attempt than did Louise. But those are our two American girls. They are out of the competition really before the competition has had a chance to heat up.
That's a good way to put it, Dwight. 6 feet 5 for the best in the world is really only the middle of a race before the sprint starts.
Exactly. As you can see here, she gets off the ground nicely, but with the wind and everything else, she hits the bar on her way down.
This is Susanne Beyer of East Germany, who has been jumping extremely well just in the last couple of weeks inside of East Germany. She really hasn't had a lot of opportunities to compete outside of the country.
She was not rated among the top 50 high jumpers in the world last year. Here she is among the top 6 in the sport now.
Nice clearance at 6'6 1/4. That was her second attempt. She may be in the medal hunt with that particular attempt. That was a very fine jump.
Susanne Beyer over 6 feet 6 1/4 inches.
Very good control here, as do all the East Germans. Very nice height right on top of the bar.
And meanwhile, we understand that the Bulgarian Stefka Kostadinova is just jumping effortlessly. And we'll return to Rome after we pause for these words from your local station. From the Soviet Union, Kykova is causing some problems. Let's go to Dwight.
Dick, you're absolutely right. Tamara Kykova has been flawless all the way through. This competition is matching stride for stride with Stefka Kostadinova. And Kykova over cleanly at 6'8 1/4, which is only 1 centimeter below her all-time personal record. She is coming completely out of the woodwork this year.
Dwight, she hasn't been up there in several years either.
She won the World Championships in '83, dominated in '83, but since then has not been a factor. She can make 6'8 1/4 cleanly. That puts a lot of pressure on Kostadinova, but she's been over this height many more times than any other woman in the world.
10 of the 13 highest jumps in history in the high jump belong to this woman. She attempts 6 feet 8 1/4 inches.
Not an impressive jump whatsoever. You would think that jumping behind Kykova and after her having such an impressive clearance, that Kostadinova would have to respond immediately, but that was a very poor attempt.
She has only one more jump at this height. That's her second miss. You're allowed 3 attempts at any given height.
Driving the turn very well, but she takes too long from her right foot to her plant foot and hits the bar on the way up. She's got her hands full. She goes down to her third attempt at 6'8 1/4. If she doesn't make it, she loses the gold medal. Unthinkable for Kostadinova.
Moments like this is not a team sport. Let's watch.
The response of a champion. Don't just make it by a ton. Daylight under Stefka Kostadinova, but she knows she has her hands full. She's in second place. She must make the next height just to win, and we're getting into very rarefied air.
The world record holder, 6 feet 9 3/4 inch. She has cleared in the past.
Kostadinova able to keep her emotions in check. She knows what she must do. The sun in her face, she just nails it at the plant. Very nice vertical, and makes that height with room to spare. That's what she needed.
Just 22 years of age, the Bulgarian. She started as a swimmer, said the water was too cold. Well, she's in a high-altitude climate here in Rome. The world record holder at 6'9 3/4, under pressure from the defending champion, jumps with confidence. She shows maturity beyond her years. We'll continue with the competition from Rome after we pause for this.
The bar is at 6 feet 9 inches. This is the second attempt for Tamara Kykova, the defending champion from Helsinki in 1983. She is the leader on misses. And a very fine effort. She is jumping so well in this competition. A great big meet performer.
5 times indoors and out, the world record holder. This is her main competition.
Kostadinova, second attempt at 6 feet 9 inches. And she's over by a mile. Back into the lead. Now she is winning the gold. Kykova must respond by jumping this height as well as the next.
Kykova has just one jump left. This is Kostadinova.
Incredible confidence, going from the depths of despair to the top of the mountain. Stefka Kostadinova with room to spare at 6 feet 9 inches.
Her run-up about 65 feet. This is the last attempt for Kykova.
Kykova has had the bar raised to 6'9 3/4 because she cannot win by jumping 6 feet 9. She's going for it with one final attempt.
Not close. Not close.
It was not meant to be this time. I have to admire the courage of Kykova, though, having a phenomenal meet and going to tie the world record to win.
She defended her title like a champion should. 65 feet is her run-up.
She looked very good in the run-up, but she just didn't have any more. Missed it on the way up. But what a tremendous performance by Tamara Kykova.
So, Kostadinova now will go for her world record, perhaps. We'll see. She is at 6'9 3/4 as the world record set earlier last year by her.
Dick, this is the ultimate in the high jump. Attempting a world record, 6 feet 10 1/4. She's already the world champion. Stefka Kostadinova's first attempt.
Ooh, a good attempt, though, Dwight. Not a bad attempt.
She's had a lot of emotional distress today. She almost lost this competition and then won it, and now she's going for the world record. They've been out here a long time today, Larry.
Watch her jump. She uses her arms to lift up, rotates her body, uses her right arm to lay out for levity, but doesn't quite get her legs up and over.
She makes the adjustment on the step. She could make this height. She has the strength.
That's a new world indoor record for Stefka Kostadinova of Bulgaria, the 27-year-old young lady. What a great performance.
Unbelievable. 6'10 1/4. She just nicks it on the way down. This is the ultimate. A half an hour ago, she was staring at her final attempt at 6'8 1/4. She had to make it to win. And now a new world record, 6 feet 10 1/4. She's got to love it.
Listen to the Italian crowd cheer and sing as though you're at an American college football game. Here she goes on the new world record.
Such a strong run-up, good arm swing. She works the turn so well, puts that plant down, just nicks it on the way down. Incredible performance.
50,000 people cheering here in Rome.
I'm not sure she's done jumping.
Now, wouldn't you say, we've seen this often over here in another competition, she's looking at her coach maybe for direction?
She may want just to take one more jump, just one jump at a higher height.
Look at her. Her reaction is like, you really want me to go higher?
Unbelievable. 6'10 1/4, a new world record for Stefka Kostadinova. Kykova gets the silver medal, and Susanne Beyer the bronze. Up to the studio, and Dick Enberg.
All right, Dwight Stones. So Kostadinova thrilling this huge crowd at Olympic Stadium, setting a world record in the World Championships. And it's interesting to show how far that event has come and what Fosbury did with his flop for the sport. That jump by Kostadinova of 6'10 1/4 would have won every Olympic Games, including the men, through the 1952 Olympics. And here it is again. We had one record in Helsinki, and Kostadinova on the second day has thrilled the track and field enthusiasts in Rome with a magnificent leap, 6'10 1/4. Brava. The Eternal City, the host of these second World Championships of track and field along the Tiber River here in the great city of Rome, and we've been treated on this Sunday to a world record. A 22-year-old Bulgarian, Stefka Kostadinova, has leaped 6'10 1/4, bettering her own world mark. Already these World Championships special, and here again is Kostadinova springing over the bar and, after missing on her first try, kicking with her heels, able to clear for the record to the delight of this crowd of well over 50,000 at Olympic Stadium in Rome.